What is the typical net rental yield in Dubai? Focusing on the net yield shows client you understand that the true return is what is left in their pocket after all expenses. The great news is that Dubai's rental yields are among the highest in the world, often double the average seen in major global cities like London, New York, or Paris. The typical net rental yield in Dubai's current market, and depending heavily on the area and property type, you can typically expect a net rental yield, the actual cash flow after expenses, to fall in the range of 5.5% to 8.0%. This is the figure we use for realistic long-term projections. It's crucial to understand why the gross figures often cited in the media are higher than the net figure you should plan for. What reduces the yield? The operating costs. To calculate the realistic net yield, you must subtract the mandatory annual operating costs, which typically include annual service charges, the fee paid to the master developer for the maintenance of common areas, pools, gyms, security, landscaping. This is the largest deduction and varies significantly by community, usually falling between 10 to 32 United Arab Emirates dirhams per square foot. Property management fees. These are optional. If you hire a professional company, recommended for overseas owners, this is typically 8% to 12% of the annual rent. Maintenance buffer or vacancy. A small annual budget for repairs between tenants, and for potential periods of vacancy, we usually budget 1 month. Dubai's key advantage. The biggest boost to client net yield is that the UAE has no income tax on rental income and no annual property taxes, like council tax or property tax, meaning fewer deductions than almost any other investment city globally. Yield varies heavily by location. The specific community and property type is the single biggest factor determining client yield. To give you a precise and RERA-compliant projection, we need to focus on a specific property and calculate the service charges accurately. High-yield affordable properties will generally provide a net yield of 7% to 8.5% because of the lower purchase price relative to the rent, high rent-to-value ratio. Prime luxury properties will generally provide a net yield of 5% to 6.5% because of the higher purchase price, but greater potential for capital appreciation, long-term value growth. Villas, townhouses properties will generally provide a net yield of 4.5% to 6%. Generally, the yield is lower than apartments due to the high land component, but excellent for capital appreciation.